Prostitute in the Constitution, Posh. Back again, revolution, Ash. Yo, you gotta be American. Gotta be American. Pasha in the building. You gotta be American to understand, some of my lyrical content. Actually, most of it. But I'll put a link to the new song up, right? And we'll go from there. So, check it out. This last week has been kind of really, I don't do holidays. I don't celebrate holidays. So, congratulations to everybody that had reason to celebrate over the last couple days. What I will say is, coincidentally, I've had a few conversations this week regarding guns, firearms, stuff like that. So I think it was a good opportunity to show how, especially in the music world, I know when you look at hip hop, you look at rap or whatever you want to call, the different genres. There's a lot of communication about that have people looking. Not even gonna say communication activity, etc. That has a lot of people can feel a distaste for when it comes to weapons and guns. However, we can't control the operators, right? Or yeah, that's a good way to say it. You can't control the operators. However, the fact that the right exists is enough to, in the last video we went over how small of a number it actually is, although it's a big awareness being made of the situation right now, etc. So, you gotta look, if Americans love firearms. Let's do a safety check for y'all. Drop the mag. You can see it's clear. All right. Now, this is my favorite little tool right now. I can show you here. It's actually, when I say it's the Baby Desert Eagle, if you look there, it actually is. That's not the nickname. That is actually what it is, the Desert Eagle. And it's Magnum Research. So shout out to Magnum Research for allowing us to have 9mm Baby Desert Eagles in the joint, Super CZs style. Great piece of machinery there. So let's look at the Second Amendment, right? Because I want to break this down for you real quick, because Posh is all to understand the law. Part of the reason why I push etymology is so that we can actually better understand the law. You know what I mean? So let's take a look at this. I have it behind me there on the wall. My big head is in the way, blocking half of it, but I'll talk it out for you. Let's get to it. So, a well-regulated militia, right, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep. See, I told you they'd be missing the word keep, but to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So I give that to you once again all the way through. So, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, for people that don't understand what Pasha means, it's one of the highest ranking generals or political figures back in the Ottoman Empire. So that's what Pasha is. Pasha Paroh, and Paroh means great house. So together, Pasha and Paroh is General Great House. See, we got to get this house together, and that's where we got to start if you want to get the house of the nation together, right? Okay. So now I had posted, the last video we did at a few places, and I really, really appreciate the conversation and people's feedback. So shout out to the group on Facebook, TED Talks and X Science and Nature. So I had got a comment on one of on the post and everything, right? Just the beginning, he made some good points and he has some opinions, and I respect that, or he or she. And what made me have this thought process to actually go further into this was you hear this often when people bring up the word militia, right? And he said, okay, so first we have he said, okay, so we have a First Amendment, the right to be able to speak up, and a second one to bear arms. See, people often forget the word keep, and it's just been in like I said in the last video, it's been embedded in our minds as such, and I think that has a really huge impact on the average interpretation of the Second Amendment. So right here, he says, now the primary problem here is the NRA is telling us to own guns independently. He said, okay, now we have a problem because the Second Amendment is not about the individuals having guns, but militias. All right. And then, like I said, the rest of the stuff was opinion, and some facts that, I'm not even going to debate. The part that I was concerned with, what he said was not the individual people, but militias. Okay. So to save us some time, I'm just taking the post itself because I listed the etymology in the response. Okay. So I said, thanks for sharing your perspective, because like I said, I'm always interested in people's feedback, especially when it's knowledgeable. And this is a great group that have great discussions and great posts. So feel free to check them out and join the group, request to join the group, and partake in some of their conversations they have there. It's great. So when we look at the etymology of the word militia, okay, the word militia originally, and you guys know I normally give you the picture out of the etymology dictionary, let you see the words for yourself. So by now you trust me that I'm taking the words right from the book. So at least in this case, it's going to speed up the process. And if you don't like it, just listen, don't look. So when we look at the etymology of the word militia, originally 1590 approximately, it means military system or military force. Okay. So the sense of a citizen army is first recorded in 1696 from French milice. I don't know how to pronounce it. If you're a French person and want to give us the proper pronunciations, phonetically in the comments below, we appreciate it. So, or if you speak French, let us know. So basically the word militia, because I hear this come up a lot, like it's not for the people, it's for a militia, and then blah 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 blah, right? Woody woo. So now when he got down here, he said he or she said so we all need to have our own flags and stand by and under, right? And when I heard that part, when I read that part, it made me think about the word state, because we did some videos a while back where we defined state not only per looking at it as far as the word, but looking at it as far as described in the United States codes and what it actually meant. So when they were writing it, but let's take a look at this. So the word state, right? So we got militia isn't necessarily talking about the citizen army, right? It's talking about a military system or military force. Okay. Now, let's take a look at that. Do you need to have an army to have your own military system or your own military force? When you see security at the local bank, the local mall, outside of wherever, is that not the deployment or employment of a military system or military force? when you have provided yourself security for your home, person, space, whatever, whether that's home, traveling, when you're out and about, what have you, if you have a military system or military force capability, then that is your militia. Okay? Remember, the sense of the citizen army came later. That became the slang. Like, oh man, he got the militia with him. You know what? We are the militia. You know what I'm saying? They just woke up one day, probably. You know what I'm saying? All right, so etymology of the word state before 1200 is your position in society. Station. Later, it became condition or fact of being. So forget what, I ain't gonna say forget, but add to whatever you would think of when you hear the word state. Like if I say I'm in North Carolina, you might think state. However, the word state actually means your position in society. And you know, another word for position is attitude. You see what I mean? Attitude and position are interchangeable. So your attitude in society or your position in society is what it means when it says state. All right, let's move on. Now the word keep, right? The word keep means, this is what I always tell, this is what you hear me saying. People forget the word keep when stating the Second Amendment. Now, the word keep means watch for, observe, retain, hold, take, keep, right? So now you see why you have the, without getting particular about what state you claim to be a part of, right? What position in society you claim to be a part of, right? You have the right to keep and bear arms. But what does that mean? To watch for, observe, retain, hold, take, and keep. So you can now understand a little clearly why you need a permit, so to speak, or why they want you to have a permit. Let me say, I ain't gonna say you need, technically you could keep it however you want to because you have the right to hold it. So how you hold it is up to you. However, now you see why they're able to make money off of, let's say, concealed carry permits, right? Because they have the right to be observed. You see what I'm saying? The arms that you're carrying, the weapons that you're carrying, have a right to be observed. Other people have a right to observe them. You see what I mean? Which is like to have knowledge of them. So if you technically are carrying and you come somewhere, you know, hey, look, got my shit with me, bam. They have observed it. You don't need, never mind. I'm not an attorney. If you need an attorney, of course, it's not legal advice. This is just etymology and for entertainment purposes, reviewing the Second Amendment. I have had, won 3 out of 4 of my own court cases, although not firearm related. The 6 state prosecutors and the judges all encouraged me to become an attorney thereafter, and we laughed because I said that would change my status, and we all laughed because they knew what that meant. So anyway, keep, watch for, observe, retain, hold, take, keep. All right. So the etymology of the word bear is to carry, bring forth, give birth to. So now when you look at the word bear, right, you're thinking about bearing. I mean, you can carry it. Now how, this is where it's like, it kind of neutralizes each other to a degree, the observance and the carrying. So I ain't gonna say neutralize, but it complements each other because you can carry it however you want to. However, when you come around people, I would say in a private situation more so than public, they have the right to observe it. You know what I mean? Which is why, like, when you go into the gun shop, they have a gun check. You know, you can bring your firearms or your guns in there with you. A lot of them just Well, depending on what state you in, how they operate, I don't know. But most of the places I've been to, you can bring your stuff in. They just want to have a gun check before you proceed. They're gonna check it, make sure it's clear. They're gonna observe. They want to observe, right? All right. Some places may actually retain. You know what I mean? You have the right to retain. They have the right to request that they retain it while you're on premises. If you don't want to go that far with it, you don't go there. Like the airplanes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hold. They can, okay, all this good stuff, right? That's the rights, but it applies to both sides, the one carrying and the people who I would say have jurisdiction over, let's not say jurisdiction, authority over the space that is being carried in. So if you're in private, then you have to go by, the owner's wishes. If you're in public, anyway, like I said, I'm not an attorney, but these words may mean something to you. All right. So to carry, bring forth, give birth to. See, the word bear not only protects you, or is not only relating to carrying, right? Because that's the word carry, right? But it also means to bring forth, like to give birth to. So you now see how you have people contesting the fact that they can make their own firearms, guns, whatever you want to call it, right? And it not be subjected to certain scrutiny when it comes down to regulations and rules on having weapons, guns, etc. Right? Take that as you will. So now, as I continue down the comment I responded to, I said, so with that on the table, the Second Amendment is how it originally read, right? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, when we substitute the actual meanings for the words with the words, the Second Amendment becomes this: a well-regulated military system or military force being necessary to the security of a free position in society, the right of the people to watch for, observe, retain, hold, take, keep, and carry, bring forth, and give birth to arms shall not be infringed. Now, I think this would help make it become more clear on how the focus is actually the people. We the people of America. See, we're, like we said, America and the United States. What if they were two separate things? Would you start to see how we the people of America is different, right? So let's review that again. The Second Amendment: a well-regulated military system or military force being necessary to the security of a free position in society, the right of the people to watch for, observe, retain, hold, take, keep, and carry, bring forth, give birth to arms shall not be infringed. And that is the etymology of the Second Amendment. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and check out this clip from the new song.
Prostitute in the Constitution, Posh. Back again, Aztec Revolution, Ash. Custom exhaust, blast back pollution gas. Dirty on the rocks, carbon fiber, high booster fast. Smack that, lay me on the docks, high noon, sun ass, get wet. Chain collar, call her my pet, get that. Prostitute in the Constitution, Posh. Back again, Aztec Revolution, Ash. I know you want
Pasha Paroh, YS7. Thank you for tuning. The replay.